Hello and welcome to Kate and Kat's podcast. We run our podcast a little differently than most. Our podcasts are completely spirit-led, and we never know who we're going to have on or what's going to come up to heal. Every episode is a new adventure, where we walk people through healing anything from spirit guides to past lives to inner child work, how the energies and trauma affects the mechanical workings of our physical bodies, and exploring time, space, and dimensions and how it's all happening now. This podcast is for beginners and experts alike. This can be considered explicit content to some, as we do not edit ourselves, and sometimes deep trauma work comes up unexpectedly. And also we cuss like sailors.
On this episode of Kate and Kat Live, we work with the people in the comments. We did more of like a question and answer type of live, which we really enjoyed. It took a minute for things to get started because people didn't know exactly what to ask, and then they realized literally they could ask us anything from energetic stuff to crystal ball type of questions to physical questions, all sorts of stuff, spirit guide questions, all the things. We loved it. We really had a blast. So without further ado, if you love a bad bitches, and that is, you're a fucking problem, on with the podcast.
Hi. Feel like I can't get this right. It's not
What's
funny.
so funny, Kate?
What's not funny?
Funny.
Not funny, Ben.
Yeah, Ben. It just kept saying that it was unable, like it was unsteady. It would not let me on. I was just sitting there, and it was just like, unsteady, unsteady, unsteady. And I was like, okay, I'll restart my whole fucking phone. And it was like, no. I said, okay then. Hi, guys.
Max is sitting right next to me.
Hi, Tweety. Hi, Tawny. Hi, Cosmic Kid.
What?
What was that?
I had to turn up my brightness. I couldn't see anything.
Oh.
Yeah. Maxie, hi, buddy. He's never next to me during lives.
In my description on ours, it said we were doing question and answers on my live.
That's what mine says too.
Your entry thing?
It says question and answers with Cat and Boots 138.
It
Question mark, question mark, question mark.
On mine, it just says to work with me and Kat, schedule via the links in our link tree.
Oh. Mine says question and answers with Cat and Boots 138. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Hey, everyone.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Period to dud. Q&A. So we can do a Q&A, like where people can ask questions freely about like anything.
Well, it's the thing, like they might not know what they can ask, right? I know that's what you're about to explain, but I'm telling them.
Like you can, personal questions.
Like we don't usually offer ourselves up as a crystal ball kind of situation, but we are. So like if you have questions about dimensional stuff, if you've got questions about like why do I keep blah, 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 blah. We're going to tune into it and help you out.
For a limited time offer, you too can ask questions. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hey.
Hi. Looks like everybody in this live knows everything.
Oh, yeah.
I've been hearing ringing, but what are my guides saying is what Tweety says.
12.
12. They're saying 12, Kate says.
Bye. No, I'm just kidding. That's what they said. You were like, what are my guides telling me? And then my first thing was like, what makes you think it's your guides? And then your guides were like, 12. And I was like, oh.
Sweetie, say, Spirit, please tune me into this frequency. Please put this in a language I can understand. Felicia says, I've been staying up for days at a time and don't know why. I think that's a question. There's no question mark there, but I'm pretty sure it's a question.
I've been staying up for days at a time. Question mark? Did you discover something new recently, Felicia? Like, it doesn't have to, like, dowsing rods or some kind of divination or some kind of new path. Something's unlocked.
That you did for yourself. Okay, now that you guys are in the flow of asking questions, be patient with us because
we're literally going to go one at a time. Bye.
Yeah.
Should we do this? Like, quick shot? Like, this is what it means. Like, this is what I got it means.
I don't know. We'll feel it out. She said, I don't know.
I'm specifically seeing a form of divination. And when I say form of divination that you've discovered, it could be like, oh my God, I'm a seer. Oh my God, I'm a knower. Oh my God, you know what I mean? It can be things like that. But
the soul fragment thing where you test your yes and your no with that kind of shit too.
This looks like an object. Did you get like a crystal ball? I know I said dowsing rods, but it's like that. Is there like a sphere?
I do like blue, but I don't like particularly pick it out. And they're like, I like your pencil. Oh, it might be to you, Kate, but I think it's me because I'm going like this. And I've got like blue here, blue here, blue here, blue here. Oh my God. Do you like blue? Great question.
No.
Sorry.
No. Kat hates the color blue, guys.
It's the worst.
Do that.
I'm just kidding. It's Spirit of Please do that. I can hear people's intentions even louder now.
Okay.
That's what she said.
That makes sense. Do we just kind of go like from...
No, I'd like to give some kind of solution, like a healing to help with it. So if it's annoying, go into your sensory knob room, poke around in there and put things... Actually, you can do this one pretty fast. Remove the, what are those fucking wires called, Kate? That lock shit down? What are they called?
Oh, lock wires?
Lock wire. Cool. Remove the...
yeah. Safety wire, lock wire.
Safety wires. Remove the lock wire / safety wire from your sensory knobs. Like, cut them with wire cutters. There you go. Now, adjust your knobs. Adjust your knobs to what feels right. And then say, hey, team, can you put this to conducive to what my human right now needs? There you go. And then lock them back down and see how that goes. Okay.
Lockout, tag out. How do you know about that?
Am I scrolling up to previous?
That's what I was asking earlier. Like, do we just go down? Yeah.
Down, baby. Or grab and go.
Or like as we end one person's, it's like, all right, next question. Because the next question would be Linda, and I got to go all the way back up.
Yeah, it was, can you explain collapsed dead timelines? Yeah.
Which part about it? Like what the whole... Would what work for the Schumann resonance? I forgot what we even said. Yeah, the sensory room?
Work for the Schumann resonance? I'm not understanding how they're connected. So
collapsing dead
timelines.
Yeah, so collapsing dead timelines. Let's say that there was a timeline, I don't know, where my cabinets in my kitchen were blue, right? So I'm like, wow, I really want to renovate these white cabinets. I was thinking blue. Wow, I'm thinking blue. I'm thinking blue. I'm thinking blue. Well, all of a sudden, I heal something, and I'm like, man, the reason why I wanted blue cabinets is because when I was younger, my favorite place had blue cabinets. I don't actually like blue cabinets. So that timeline never happens. Or it's a timeline that did happen, and everything's been healed on it, so it doesn't exist anymore. Like, it could be in the past. It could be in the future. And all it does is, like, gunk stuff up because it's like an empty corridor that doesn't need to be in there, if that makes sense.
Like, so, I have a timeline that did exist where I stayed married to my ex-husband and just had 2 kids. And that timeline doesn't exist anymore. And so that timeline needs to be closed because it can like bleed in sometimes too. Sometimes it's like Kate said, an empty corridor, and sometimes it's an emotional pull that trips you up. And it's like you'll have weird deja vu or memories of stuff, and it's from a different timeline that's not there. It's like stuck. It's like a scratch in the record.
Linda says so it has nothing to do with death. What do you mean?
It can have something to do with death. It just depends on what you mean. Like if like there was a timeline where Kate and I were there and it was all apocalyptic, no one else was there, that was a lot of death, and we were like, why is this still open? Nothing is here. So we just closed that one. Kate's waiting for you to explain the death thing, Linda. She's like, she asks a question and then she just sits and waits.
I'm like, they'll answer eventually. I don't know how to do that. I want to ask questions, but I'm thinking. Okay.
She said,
I'm gonna move on.
Okay.
All right. Because I don't see her in the chat. It's hard to go to the beginning. There's so many now. Well, we were on Whom the Hells. Would that work with Schumann resonance, sensory room? Using the sensory room, dizziness affecting you as much?
Oh, like the Schumann affecting you? That's the confusion, is because all of us affect the Schumann. The Schumann doesn't affect us. The Schumann charts what all of us do. You, Kate, me, all of us do. So the Schumann, when spiritual people report that the Schumann has got a big blast and hold on and you're going to get dizzy and stuff, your soul is probably involved in the healing that is making the Schumann do the blasty blast thing. It's not that the blast is affecting you, you're affecting the blast. Does that make sense? Like, I have a series on it and I have it posted in my YT as well. But like, we started, because we didn't really care that much about the Schumann. Like, it was cool, whatever. I mean, we were just like, whatever. People were super excited about it and we didn't really understand why. And then all the work that we would do would show up on it. And then we were like, what? And then we looked at the time things of when we did the things, and then we started to correlate all this stuff together, and then you can look at it and you can tell. You can be like, was I a part of this blast? No. Was I a part of that one? Yes. What was going on? Oh, that was that. Then we started to realize that if we do past timeline work, it doesn't show up in the Schumann, but current does. So like, if you guys go look at the, just as a basis for stuff that all of you, majority of you have been involved in recently, the recent activity on the Schumann since the trauma train meditation came out, that you guys are actively participating in every single night, you can see that the lines are like, instead of like a blast.
Okay. I can't, like, I guess I'm just gonna scroll up and pick one. I don't know.
Okay.
Tuning for, I did bookmark that one in my head. Purple Owl Destiny asked, what do y'all think of tuning forks? And
It just scratches my brain so good. But I like ASMR, I'm a seer. I'm a seer, not a feeler. So like whenever I don't know, whenever it hits the right pitch, it feels like it's cleaning my brain and it retunes, not just tuning forks, it's everything, like ASMR in general. It feels like it cleans off my brain.
My ear tingles try to feel it too much. And so like everything that's going on, it's like, what is going on? And I'm like, this is uncomfortable. I don't want to feel all those things. I don't want to know what's going on.
Yes. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful time. Do I believe they work?
Put your tuning fork back to Balanced Divine Working Order and see what it does.
Mm. So do I believe they work? Yeah, I would say so. I don't really know what they're tuning. Like, are you talking about with like the chakras and stuff? Because it depends who you are. If you work that way, then yeah. If you don't, then no. So does it work for everyone? Probably not.
Same thing with like our healing. Some people feel them right away. Some people see them, like the things falling out. And some people, it's layers of trauma. And for some people, they don't really want to be a seer or a feeler. So it's the same kind of thing.
Oh, this is a good one. Feisty chick. Does a family member illness get passed down to you, especially diabetes, since your soul family, or is it separate? I have seen that it's not passed down diseases, it's passed down trauma. It's the same trauma over and over and over again that gets passed down through the generational trauma, basically, and it creates the same disease.
Yeah, and your physical family isn't always necessarily your quote-unquote soul family, but soul family is a really odd term because if there's only like 13 oversouls, then it's just whatever group is good for you, but I don't know. I guess that would be soul family. But you don't always have past lives with your family members. Many times when I've done past life work to work on genetics, like diseases passed down through the lineage of the matriarch, the mothers of the family or whatever, you can go back to a past life. And one of them, it was like their legs swelled, and it was a past life where it was a family of foxes that got stuck in a fucking bear trap kind of thing. Not a bear trap, because that's huge, but like a trap like that. And they reported that for them and their entire family, it like went away. There was someone who was pretty much allergic to the sun, and it went back to a vampire life. So it's like Kate said, it's connected to trauma, and it carries on in the genetics sometimes, but it also can be, someone. There was something for Kate's family that was a men with heart disease kind of thing, and that was right.
Mm-hmm.
And that was connected to a specific trauma, like implanted in. And she had to get to the bottom of that to figure it out.
It's just interesting how it all go. And then like you'll notice the ones that get whichever disease it is, they act the same, if that makes sense. They have the same traits. So it's just interesting. Okay. All right, ready, go. Damn, Helena, closing timelines can be difficult. It's not a question. Janessa the Witch says, do you guys think the government has people observing you and are worried at your capabilities? Me personally, I observe the government. Kat has been observed. I've tried to be observed. I think.
Not tried to be
observed. I think it was mainly Kat.
I have a long... Bands. Yeah. I have a long history of that kind of thing. It was scary at first because of humans and what Hollywood tells us. But they don't touch us. We've done too much. I've caught, the recordings on the phone, where the recording got switched and they were talking about something I was talking on the phone in a session like 2 weeks prior. Vans parked outside my house 24/7, pretty much a fake neighborhood. Ready, like made and ready for me, that kind of weird stuff, but we don't don't really worry about it. We kind of just do our own thing, and they realize that we're going to do our own thing. And a lot of the, yes, there was spy birds, Allie. A lot of the stuff though that is scary out there, like psychic attacks and stuff from, government stuff. That's some of the reason we have the healings that we have is because we have already dealt with that stuff, and the healings were created from dealing with it. And that's why we're pretty comfortable and confident with the things, is because we have healings to take care of all that.
So they also asked, why do you think they observe Kat and not you? I said, I haven't 100% got to the bottom of it, but I have seen so far that it's because I observe them instead.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I kind of feel like Kate, like, she sees the things she can see and she can tune in, respectfully so, but she can see in the things. And for me, for a long time, if things were like hurting me or pushing on me, I would sit there and try to feel what it was. And it's not so obvious to me if there's like a camera sticking out, but Kate will be like, why the fuck? The other day, okay, just an example. The other day we were driving to an hour away to drop my kid off with their dad. And Kate was like, why do I keep thinking that random shit that's a drone is not a fucking drone? Like, I don't understand. And I was like, And then so she just defragged and deactivated whatever the fuck the drone was. And then as soon as we got to our destination, about 30 minutes into the drive, there was a thing exploded in the air, the drone. So like it wasn't observing her, but she was
like white lines.
Yeah, it was like on the ground and then exploded out. And it was like, well, there's your thing.
There's the drone that I keep seeing. Bye.
Yeah, so she just sees them. She's just like, what the fuck is this? Okay, I'm just gonna do the things. Also, she fucks white vans energetically, but that's another topic.
It's a guilty pleasure, if you will. Anyway, what do you got? Oh, wait, that's... Dang it. It's like these aren't questions, they're answers to what we were saying. It keeps landing on that questions. Kelsey says, there's different things I feel, but I also see occasionally. Confusing sometimes. This is possible? Question mark? Are you talking about, like, is seeing possible? Like, seeing things possible?
Who are you talking to? Whose question was this?
Kelsey Stoops. If they're still in here, even. You get confused with what you're seeing? Ask out loud, like ask your team. I don't even know how to explain. Okay, so with that example that Kat said, with me seeing the drone, it's like, so what kept happening is, I work on aircraft, right? So like if there's an aircraft in the sky, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, guys, there's an aircraft in the sky. Anyway, so like all this, and there's a bunch of aircraft around this drive because there are a bunch of ag planes, like agricultural planes that like feed the crops. Anyway, water the crops. So I kept seeing them, and I was like, oh, that's not a drone. Oh, that's not a drone. And I noticed, so I was seeing these drones, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, unless you're talking about like seeing entities and stuff like that. Is that what you're talking about, Kelsey?
I want to go down to this one. Dignified Soul 222. It's like the last question that entered, though, so that's not the order you were going in.
I just random now.
Have you guys heard of shifting realities, becoming aware of yourself in another reality universe, and living in that reality the same as you would here? It can happen to people. There's lots of reports of it, but if you can figure out, once you figure out it's pretty easy to merge your timelines together merge your realities together. You can grab your consciousness from a past life even. Like in one of the classes that we did, Kate had people go grab a life where they were a mechanic and then download the information of the mechanic into them now to up their mechanical skills. And you can do that. So in your shifting reality situations, if you get stuck in a different location or stuck in a different timeline, or like this morning, I woke up and I didn't feel quite like everything was a little bit weird. People were tagging me in questions like this, like world questions, but that was from 2020 kind of timeline. And there was like the sky's been really clear here, and that seemed weird. Everything seemed weird. So I just merged all realities and aligned my timelines and put everything back to their correct dimensional form. And then I felt great. I felt fine. Whenever I come across people on TikTok that have like a reality shifted experience and they're scared, I try to reach out to help them. But there's so many people that bombard them that they usually don't even know who is right to help them, how they can help them, if there is help for them. And sometimes they just want to share their experience and they don't really want help.
Okay. Are you good with that? Like, I want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful King Being, can you tell your team to help with things whenever you don't know what you need help with? Yeah, you could say, team, what's the most impactful thing I need help with right now? Or you can say, activate Kate's sorting foam healing to whatever I need help with right now, or Kat's detangling of roots healing. There's a few different avenues you can go on. Huh?
You probably have your own too, but if like a quick pinch, if you're looking for things to help with, we have our preset stuff that you're more than welcome to use for that kind of thing. But yeah, you can ask your team, like you can talk to your team, just like Kate said, and you can even ask them like the one I use for example is, hey team, which one of you removes blocks? Now we all have different definitions of what blocks are. It could be a visual block, it could be a mental block, it could be a spiritual block, whatever the fuck you think it is, and just say, hey team, which one of you removes blocks? Can you do that for me? And they will. One will show up. They're literally just waiting for you to like ask them to do the things. That's another misguided thing about spirit guides.
Oh,
is that
how people think they're just supposed to do things on their own?
Yeah, they just naturally do things on their own without guidance. They think that the spirit team guides them, when in actuality, the majority of time it's they guide you if you set up a protocol for them to. You're the one that's guiding them, which is not commonly talked about.
Because ain't nobody want to believe that because it's not romantic.
Yeah, when it's too simple, it's not fun.
Do people's guides randomly come to you without you asking them to? Absolutely not. I have it set to where they do not. It's like a clock in, clock out system, I guess. But as soon as you ask, as soon as somebody says, my guides are doing this to me, you're asking a question. So I'm like, did their guides really say that? Oh, like it's so quick, I don't even realize it's happening. What about you, Kat? Do people's guides randomly come to you?
I don't operate in that same way, so I wouldn't exactly know. I know I have it set up to where if people are supposed to get a session with me, that my team is kind of like, it's like we become each other's spirit guides for a moment to magnetize.
Mm-hmm.
So it is random, but it's not random. It's with purpose. It's set up so we can like find each other. But I don't gain any information from them. Like people who comment and stuff, we don't look into you guys. We will literally say, we are tuning into you now. We are looking into you now. We do not just like gather information from you guys willy-nilly. Unless there is an exception to this, and it's like if, what the fuck did they mean by this? And then we will look into the meaning of the words. And then we'll go, oh, okay. All right. Because, tone and text can get weird. But other than that, We're really pretty fucking respectful.
Murray Soul. Unless you like, if you see one too, Kat, let me know, like you did earlier, because I don't want to like bombard this. Okay, is there a way we can turn off our gifts? I've shut stuff down plenty of times. I've shut off my feeling. Actually, I refuse. I think Kat has shut off her feeling or her seeing.
Because if I thought I wanted to see for the longest time, and it melted my brain, and I hated it, and Kate was like, "Hey, you hate this," and I was like, "But I want it, I can handle it," and she's like, "Cool, you hate it," and I was like, "Okay." So I learned how to be more of a feeler. Also, just the way we said we don't tune into you guys, that's shutting it down too. It's just kind of how like we just go, no, we don't want to. Or like going into a store, like Kate and I, we go into restaurants. We go out to a bar if we wanted to. We go hatchet throwing. We go wherever. We live wherever we want. Like we do whatever we want to do life-wise. There's nothing that is like overwhelming for us. And we have shieldings put into place and healings, and we share those with everybody. Like this is what worked for us. We want to be able to exist in life and live. And we don't want to be bombarded with all that crap. Same thing. Oh, I do want to mark something else. A lot of spiritual and witchy people I see on TikTok, like they make relatable jokes and stuff about how many like ghosts and spirits are in their home, and like, oh my God, it's so funny. And I don't fucking want anybody in my home except the people who live here, and neither does Kate. We don't have spirits and energies all over our home. We kick them out.
No.
They're not in our space. So
I don't think it's funny or cute or whatever the fuck out of my house.
Yep.
If you have Christian thought patterns, does that interfere with guides? Okay, so this is like with any divination. This is Christopher Tuesday. That's with any divination, Christopher, or any kind of channeling is what I should have said, not divination. Any kind of channeling. If you have a large trauma with said thing, it's going to seep into your channeling. So like if you have church trauma, religion trauma, then you're going to think about the church every time. Does that make until it's healed?
When I went full time into doing the past life session stuff, and I started having people book with me overwhelmingly from going to like one a day till all of a sudden TikTok being an overflow of like 3 or 4 a day, I had Christianity seep in so hardcore because I felt like if I was being rewarded with business, then I was doing something wrong or evil. And I literally had to like break it apart, separate myself from that trauma, take my human and trauma out of it, look at it on a whole. Am I helping or am I harming? And then why is it so bad to be successful if you had the ability to be an artist or an athlete or whatever? You would utilize that. You would go forward with that. And how is this any different? So Christianity will just kind of seep in, but everything will. All trauma will. All programming will. It's not just a religious thing. It's a shit. Kate realized not that long ago she hated hairbrushes.
Yeah.
Trauma seeps in. It just does.
Cosmic Kitten 95, if you ask over and over for any gift and it doesn't happen, how do you figure out why? Well, like, how do you figure out why it didn't happen?
Like, you mean like a spiritual ability? You know, one thing, I'm just going to point this out. One thing that Kate said in one of her videos really struck me one time. And she said, she doesn't care if anybody else does, but she said, I don't call them spiritual gifts. 1, because everybody has the things, and 2, nobody fucking gave it to me. And I was like, yeah. So after that, I kind of switched it to spiritual abilities, and it's not, whatever. But there's 2 options of like why you're asking for an ability and it's not coming to you. Either something traumatic happened and you shut them down yourself, or your human now experience would not be comfortable with it, and your soul remembers having that ability, like utilizing it in a different form of yourself. And so you're like, it's missing from me. But going to look at the most impactful point is probably the best answer on that one.
And to me and Kat are huge believers that we all have all of the abilities, and we've seen it time and time again. It's just whichever one you pick as the most dominant one. Like if you just naturally are a feeler, if you're naturally a knower, then that's the one your team's going to pick because you do it naturally, if that makes sense. And then like you'll see here, here and there. But like if you're just damn good at knowing or seeing, then that's what's going to happen.
I think of the spiritual abilities the same way I think of learning abilities. You're either better at being an auditory learner, a visual learner, or a hands-on learner. It's really that simple. And it doesn't mean, like if you were an auditory learner, you're not going to strive to try to be a visual learner. Like, why would you do that if you could just remember audibly? And if you're someone who is an audible learner or, visual or whatever, and you work better with music, you're going to put fucking music on so that you can remember it better. And if you work better without the music, then you would turn the fucking music off because you work better with it. I think all the rest of it just gunks up the works and makes us think like, if we're not doing what they're doing, then we're not as good as them. And Kate and I are completely fucking different, and we work splendidly together. We're there's not very much the same about her and I at all.
It's true. Beatty Caker, it's overwhelming to pick which one sometimes. Where do I start learning? They are all awesome. What do you do best? That's where I would start. It's like, I don't know. I was always a seer. I always did things visually. Kat was always a feeler. She always did things like feelingly with her feels. You know what I mean? Like, man, there's even like that new one that we've discovered with building your own picture.
Yeah. Like, again, going back to human stuff, because you can compare all your spiritual stuff to human stuff every fucking time. If you're really great at playing the guitar and you're really good at drumming, you just, and you can do both. But which one do you feel inspired to make music with? Which one feels good? That's it. That's all it is. Demisting spiritual concepts is like the biggest fucking thing.
Trees _ oh. Yeah.
I also want to say it's really funny because I came from the church background and the spiritual background before getting into what we do, and Kate did not. And so we'll have dual sessions together, and someone will ask.
I came from the church.
Oh, you did have some church background, just not.
I did have church. I just didn't think that they were talking to me. I didn't know what was happening. But I went to church camp and I did all the church. I was a Catholic, but no spiritual background. Sorry, I just wanted to.
You're like, that is not true, and I would like to clarify.
I'm sorry.
No, I love it.
Wait a minute.
But like people will ask when she first started doing spirit guide stuff, they'd say, "Where's my, soulmate? Where's my angel? Where's my whatever?" And she'd be like, "Kat, what are they fucking talking about? Like that's their team. I'm looking at them and talking to them." Because she just sees she sees what it is.
And I'd always be like, why do they want to see angels? They have so much better stuff. They have so much better things. Why do they want an angel? But I guess it's comforting, like in a religious way. I guess it's more comforting to some people. I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that, Kat. How like all through church and camp. Never thought it applied to me. Sorry. This is just
That's so funny.
I was like, what is this for? I don't know. We're just at this building. That's crazy. Trees 2020. I had a strange tone go off in my right ear. It left very odd, expansive space. This happened to anyone else? It just looks like a black hole.
Does it need
to be unless that was your team. Huh?
I said, does it need to be closed?
Was it your team, Trees? Can you say, team, what do you want? What do y'all want? What are y'all trying to tell me?
Beatty Caker. Kat may be doing some building spiritual abilities walkthrough guided videos on YouTube. They are pre-recorded classes. We have like 40 of them. They're available on the Linktree co-hosted by Kate on at least one a month, and 3 or 4 others a month by me. And they are very guided, very walkthrough, very affordable, and they're there. Yeah, ask any question. We'll try to see it. We're going up and through the chats.
We're trying.
Kate's still working on something. I just saw that one and I just jumped in real quick because it was a not channeled one.
Oh, they got it. Trees got it.
Okay.
But Beautiful Being was like opinions on karma, and all I got to that was we are karma. Humans are karma. I
have an opinion on it, but it's not based off of the... it's hard to talk about that kind of stuff on TikTok because I respect different cultures, and karma comes specifically from a region and culture. So I'm just going to say this. If karma is based off of the definition of it, just the plain definition of it being of the consequences for actions, that would just be like what Kate channeled. We are our own. You are not punished by anybody else. You have cause and effect. You might make a soul contract, just see it and release it. You might have an interaction where we might misunderstand each other and then we have to be silent for a moment. That is an effect. That is a karma of that situation. It's just an easy fix. We are that. All of us are. You are. You listening.
Sorry. Camille Nicole said, how did y'all meet each other and how long have you known each other? We met on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I found Kat in 2019 and then blocked her and then unblocked her. And then my guide, Joseph, was like, you really need to talk to Kat. And I was like, I don't understand. And so on a freaking whim, this happened over a course of like a month, where every time I'd see Kat's videos, which was every day, he would be like, you really need to tell her that thing.
I was showing up on videos of people who duetted me, and she'd be like, what?
Yeah. I'd be like, I don't understand. So then I unblocked her and I was like, I'm being told to book with you. I don't understand. There is somebody telling me to book with you. Yeah. And then that was it. So I guess 3 years.
Yeah. We mostly were, once we started talking to each other, it was really cute and really fun because we had a great session. It was really awesome. We got a lot done, a lot accomplished. And then we kind of were, just casually texting each other about hey, did you see the numbers of that life event changed in history? If you Googled it, that's pretty big because that's what we were working on, of lives and deaths and that kind of thing. That's a long story. And then it got to the point where we were just kind of is it weird? Both of us were like, is it weird that we kind of think about you? That I think about you, wonder how your day was? I want to check on you. Is that all right? Is that weird? I'm weird. Am I weird? No, I think the same thing too. And then we were like, what cool stuff can we channel? And then we got into looking at weird shit. What does your brain do when you're on alcohol or on mushrooms or on weed? And what does your brain do? Oh, it looks like this. It's little squigglies and it has a thing and a thing. And then it was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then she looked at my spirit guides. I was like, you can see them? And she's like, well, yeah, they're right there. And I was like, what the fuck? And so we just explored life together. And then it would be there's a storm coming and I don't like that. Can we? And it's like, oh shit, it looks like we can do something about that. And then we'd work on that. And then it just became a thing. And we were on the phone every day together until one day she came to visit. And this was October of, not last year, but 2022. Her and Shaden and their cat Max came to visit. And that was really hard to not be close to each other after that. It was like, whoa, there'd you go.
I was like, oh my God, I love it here. Hey, work, I'm leaving. Bye. Cat could / would Tiny Wild's art says cat could / would you ever hack humanity and just fix it all? That's what we're doing.
Oh, well, I mean, we do it in layers and we help everybody remember they can do it too. If you were to go in, there was a guy at the beginning of all of it. It was so fucking hilarious because he'd get so fucking mad in my comments. I didn't know this guy. And he'd be like, you just need to go to the chi ball and fix the chi ball and everybody will wake up.
Oh my God, I remember that.
You're not staying on the mission. And I was like, bro, what the fuck mission are you talking about? I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do as I'm supposed to do it. I don't fucking know it. You need to go to the chi ball. I was like, hey, what the fuck is this motherfucker talking about, bro?
Obviously, it's a chi ball, cat. I don't understand.
Apparently, it's a Cheeto ball of some sort. Cheez-Its. They sell them in barrels. I don't know, cheese balls.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Cheesy Poos.
Cheese balls.
Cheesy Poos.
Cheesy Piss.
Cheesy Piss.
But if you were to unplug everyone or do a little... there's a lot of things that would be horrible about that. One, you're making decisions for everybody else. Two, it wouldn't really matter. They got to remember on their own anyway. It's kind of like someone being like, watch this movie. It's the best movie ever. You need to watch it. And cool, thanks. I'll do that. Like, you can't do that. But we can talk about our experiences and help people remember how to do the things. And that is hacking the system because it's giving a safe space for people to do the things. Yeah, it for a while there, someone said that the favorite thing is that you blocked me at first. A lot of the people I like blocked me first. I was like, what is this?
It's almost like a secret password.
Yeah. Secret handshake.
Yeah. Block. No. Can I ask, Beatty Kager, can I ask what / who / why / where the being came from that ripped out of me? Or if others have had?
Was it a baby? I'm just kidding. When a sperm and an egg love each other very much.
What? Okay.
Yes, tons of people blocked me in the beginning. Absolutely. 100%.
And
one of the people that blocked me told everybody to block me. Her name is Switchfoot. She blocked me a year later.
It's okay. Everyone thought I wasn't real or a play toy.
Yeah.
So it's fine. What was that noise? A blender. Did anyone else hear that? This one?
Oh, yes, that one. No, it was a cheer.
Oh.
Sorry. We're just blending balls and babies.
Oh, Ben got me a blender. Oh. Ben, thanks for the blender. Thanks, you hear it.
Oh, so because the guy that does the talk shows on here, he has like a little hand clapped, like a thing that does hand claps, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing with like a stapler, guy? Like, what is that?" And it was a button that did the cheers thing. So if you're not, no, dude, I did the same thing to somebody else's. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Because if you don't know it, it's out of the blue. You're like, "What is that?" We do it all the time.
I like that. Whom the hell? I like that question. Have you had trauma healing be blocked, or reasons why it would be? Yeah, because it wasn't actually healed all the way. So I'm trying to think of one in particular. I don't have, because when something's already healed, it kind of like fades to the background and becomes a scar and then heals completely where there's nothing. So it's like if, let's say you're healing a pen and you're like, oh my God, I'm healing this pencil. And you're like, all right, healed the pencil. It's like looking beyond something, thinking that it's something else, if that makes sense. Not healing the root, basically.
Yeah, it's like weeds. If you're not getting to why are the weeds growing? What's the root system of the weeds? Is there a way to stop the weeds from growing? They will come back. Also, some things have to be healed in layers. Yeah, not sometimes you can look at a situation over and over and over again. There was a couple in particular, and until that we did with Kate, we looked at it probably 6 or 7 times. And then one day we found the cause of it. And once we took care of that, all of it fucking dissipated. And it was like, holy shit. We've been trying to heal that for forever. So yeah, it can be blocked.
Janessa says, what if the trauma is so deep you don't know what the roots are, no memory of it? You would heal the layers of it first. If you would say, what's the most impactful point I can heal about this? And then you'd go back to it, or take me to the most impactful point I can heal about blank. Oh, good.
There are some healing techniques to help you with that as well, like energy healing techniques. One of the most common, I can walk all of you guys through real quick. Like a beet or a turnip size root, like a bulb, with the sprouts coming out right here in the left side of your head. I want you to go ahead and grab the leaves and slowly start pulling out this trauma bulb that was implanted in you. And you should be able to feel it go slowly. And some of you will feel it all through your body. The root system goes all the way through your body. And then you can take this and feed it to whichever form of yours eats it for fuel. Or if you don't want to transmute it and you just want to blow it up, you can do that too. And then Kate has a healing to remove external and internal puppet strings. And that helps clear the stuff too. And you would just ask for Kate's puppet string removal healing if it's in your highest good. Yep. And that will help, because it's kind of like if you're trying to fix a pipe and you know it's busted and you don't know why, but a weeping willow took over the piping. All the roots took over, and it makes it to where you have plumbing issues, emotional issues, all this stuff. Well, figuring out the root of it is that's what heals it. So removing that root system, you'll be able to feel a lot come to the surface. And I have noticed with the trauma train meditation, for a lot of people, including myself, it brings a lot of that trauma to the surface. And all of a sudden in the middle of the day, I'll just cry and I'll be like, oh shit, that needs to be healed. And there was a lot of residual gunk on it still, like plaque on the teeth. And once that was brushed off and clean, I was able to actually see the situation.
Myra, California asked, can I see when I'm just relaxing? I see all the time. Are you talking about like intrusive channeling? Because I had to turn that off. I shut that off completely. That's a life ruiner. Or at least for me. Not everybody. I can't speak for everybody. Dang it. Is it possible what?
I want to talk about with the sight thing, with the feeling aspect of it, you start to feel like when you start getting pulled down, or your sight gets pulled somewhere else, or like Kate might start looping on something, like a visual will keep going, or like I will start feeling something pulling at me. A lot of people think that your
your soul just looks like a light body that's in like human form, but inside of yourself. And it's layered like Photoshop, and there's many different dimensional forms of you. So Kate has eyes like you have this, right? Where you have a curtain will open and stuff. But with your looping thoughts, is it like a carousel that is like a carousel of tornadoes that just loop back around? Or does it repeat? How does it go?
It's like, I'll be seeing the thing, and then it goes over here to these things, and then it's like, well, what about this? You're seeing this thing.
Oh, you get pulled back.
And then you go over here, what about this?
Pulled back.
Yeah, pull back.
Pulled back.
Yeah.
Today
like
I was talking to Ben about like what I look for in a relationship and how he fulfills the things that I'm looking for in a partner. And I said, what do you look for in a relationship or a partner? And I just started to kind of like get pulled to sleep. And he goes, oh, you're getting pulled to sleep. Did I do something wrong? I was like, oh, you're just, you're pulling on all of my feeler tentacles. And what I mean by that is, well, he was looking for like what he sees in a partner instead of looking at what Ben sees in a partner. He was looking at what I provide as a partner. So like, it's like he sees with his hands, and he was energetically like, yes, I like this about you. And then another one, yes, I like this about you. So he was like holding my tentacles. And when I said, please let go of my tentacles, he noticed that his hands were actually going like this in his lap. So yes, when we're relaxing and people are around us, that we're open to the people in the room, even when we're relaxing, especially because we want to help each other out. It's a safe family group net. And we'll notice that our channeling gets pulled to the things, and we'll be able to dissect it.
So does that answer your question about they were asking about intrusive channeling? And it's just channeling that you didn't ask for, like you didn't ask a question with, basically.
Kate's gotten pretty good at that and been like, this has nothing to do with me, and you can't be, well, she doesn't have a lot of intrusive channeling. Like she's gotten really, really skilled at blocking that completely out. But yeah, just kind of, she'll be like, no. When we went to New York City and people were trying to get her energetically, she was like, no. And she didn't say it out loud, but she was just like, no, because they would want to show her something. And it was like kind of like a floodgate coming in. So even though she's really skilled at keeping out the things, it would be a floodgate trying to hit on, like for her to see. And she'd be like, no, I'm not going to fucking look at any of that. Thanks, though.
I get with Simona Elise 2023. I get psychic dreams. Do you know anything about that? Looks like you're going into a portal when you dream. So
do you want to? Do you enjoy that?
Simona, that was to you. Oh, yes. It said smiley, yes. Well, there you go.
Okay. Now you just have to decide with those like visions, you want to be in control of it. You don't want to have fear of it. So when you have the psychic intuitions or the prophetic dreaming, is it something that you can heal to prevent? Like, why are they showing you? Why are you going into future timelines? Because the future can be any timeline. So the one that you're seeing, can you do something about it? If you can see it, then you can heal it before it happens. And then you're like, oh, that's why I get these visions, silly, so I can do something about it. And if you can't do anything about it, then you need to figure out, is it because you're like a death doula or, something of this nature? What is the purpose behind the visions? Figuring that out puts you back in the driver's seat of your life. Instead of energy just happening to you, you are happening in conjunction with it.
Beautiful being, can I make blocks so people don't siphon me? And my fucking ass was like siphoning back. Instead of getting the siphoning off.
I literally just poured water like all over myself while I was laughing at you. Like, nice. Just took the glass and was like, ding, 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 just poured it fucking right over me.
Sorry, that was a blender, guys. My bad. Make block. I mean, it would be like activating your divine shielding, guardians, protections, and bouncers. Also, usually people have a maze around them, some kind of maze that keeps other people from getting to them.
That was the thing I always thought was so interesting, is like doing spiritual work with people, and then someone would ask me like, "Oh, Kat, I need help getting through this maze." I was like, "Why are you going through the maze? Just go to the end of it. Like, Spirit, please take me to the end of this maze." I was like, "What are you doing going through the maze?" And they're like, "Well, there was a maze here, and I could go through it." I was like, "Just because you can doesn't mean you fucking need to. The maze is for other people, so they get lost. Like, why you don't need to go through it."
Cosmic Kitten 95. If you ask to go to the most impactful point and get silence, how else can you communicate? ? And then they put no or mostly.
Clean off source cord. Connect source cord to true divine source. Ask to hear, see, and feel the truth. Ask to put in a language you understand. Remove mirages. Do your house cleanse to yourself into that situation. And if still no clarity, then ask for the earliest point of it you can heal. It's just a troubleshooting situation. It's kind of like, my computer's making a weird noise. Okay, well, did you turn it on and off? Okay, did you clean out the speaker? Okay, did you see if it was plugged in? Unless we're tuned in to that situation.
Can you look around when that happens, Kitten? So, like, whenever that happens, you can either say, like, team look around or literally look around, because that's the first thing I got with that question was, have you tried looking around?
You've seen me do it, Cosmic Kitten. You've seen me sit and go, where the fuck am I? And I kind of go like this. I'm not seeing anything. I am feeling. I'm going, okay, there's walls here. They go all around. These are really tall walls. They seem really thick. They're like concrete. It's really dark here. It's like underground. Oh, that reminds me of the Matrix. Oh, these buildings, that's like buildings, and the inside of them makes the outside of the building. That's really specific for someone who doesn't fucking see. So I just kind of like...
They said I don't see anything.
I don't see
Neither does Kat.
I don't see anything. Ever. That was one thing I had to work out trying to figure out, because I was like, hey, there's a golden waterfall. And then Kate and I were on the phone with somebody else, so I don't remember if it was her or somebody else. We're like, hey, you're looking right at that. Like, you can see that it's golden. How do you see it? And I was like, I don't. And then I'd ask her team, like, hey, Kate, can you help me figure out, like, why I can't see? And Kate's like, my team and your team always say that you can. So I don't fucking know what to tell you about that. Like, she's like, I see hands over your eyes. I don't know what to tell you.
Lord Sal Cantor 8. After a healing I feel anxious. I feel like something is attached to me and it bothers me. Oh, speed it up.
That one. Trees answered that one too.
Okay, cool.
Entity transfer can happen. So you can be connected to, sometimes that happens before a healing session you do with somebody. You can feel, or like a situation will manifest. Well, I hate that word. A situation will happen in your life that is conducive to what the client is going through, or sometimes it can happen after. So you would want to speed up the healing, like Kate said. Then you would want to like transmute what you're pulling off, feed it to their lowest dimensional form or to your own. And then disconnecting is key. Like, you'll always hear Kate at the end of the podcast say, okay, don't forget to disconnect. You'll hear at the end of the class, okay, don't forget to disconnect. You got to hang up the phone. You got to, like, I don't want this stuff. I don't want their stuff. I don't want the bleed over. I don't want it. I just want to point
Paging Boston.
I want to point out it's 8:10, Kate.
Okay. So, what, like a couple more?
Okay.
All right. Paging Boston said, so if we copy and paste all the work we have done to all versions, wouldn't that clean up most lives? No. What if you had a life where you were starving, and then a life where you had too much food, And then you were like, all right, Spirit, I don't want this food. There's too much of it. And then you copy and paste it to that life. It's in the highest good. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was going because I thought you were done, but you weren't.
Oh, it's just that, like, it's in the highest good. So that's not going to happen, but no, that's why it's not going to. That's why sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah, it can't clean up everything, but it can do a good majority of stuff. Like if you're dealing with heartbreak in this life and you copy and paste it to a life where you drown, is it going to heal the life where you're drowning? No, unless you drown because of heartbreak. Well, then, if it's healing the heartbreak aspects, conducive to what you need, then the drowning thing might not happen the way it did before.
Sometimes it's just necessary to do each one. Like, it kind of sucks, but I enjoy seeing everywhere I've been. I've been everywhere, man. I've been
in the middle of that song, he just blurts out, "I'm a killer." He's like, "Alabama, down a day, I'm a killer."
Oh.
Thanks.
Well, Johnny Cash, is there anything you would like to tell us? Oh, you did. Bye.
Oh, you did. Goodbye. We do everything while awake. Cosmic Magnolia says, how can you guys see where y'all been? I used to have dreams, but don't anymore. Okay, so for the longest time, because I'm not saying that you are, I'm just going to go from my personal experience. For the longest time, when people would talk about astral projection or seeing past lives or anything, they were like, okay, you have to lay your body still as if you're going to sleep, and then don't fight it, and then you're going to like energetically leave your body, and then you can walk around and do the things, or you're going to go into a door in a field or whatever. None of that shit ever fucking worked for me. Ever fucking worked for me. We do everything awake. We literally talk it out and do everything awake. Like, we just ask to go and see the things, and we just go to a portal, and then we're in the life.
Yeah. All right. I think it's time to go. I just keep yawning more and more. All right.
This was fun.
Well, yeah. Thank y'all. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Might do again. 10 out of 10. Might do again.
We also really enjoy having guests on, so we might go back to that. But we like these like weird things, you know, these
quirky
fun things.
Little.
Yeah, they're good times. Okay.
Especially talking with y'all individually.
Yes, yeah. I like that too. Bye.
All right, don't forget to disconnect. Bye, love y'all. Bye.
Bye.
To book a dual session with Kate and Kat, visit either of our websites listed in the description of this video. For a spirit guide reading, you can book with Captain Kate at www.captainkate.com. For a one-on-one trauma healing session with Cat and Boots, you can visit www.catandboots138.com.